Dear students, in the last module we studied about the computer, its functions and different types of computers. After studying this module, you shall be able to know about peripheral devices, the different type of peripheral devices, different type of storage devices and different types of ports and connectors. Let us start with the introduction. A computer peripheral device can be defined as any device that is connected to the computer externally, which is not originally a part of the computer's core architecture. The core architecture of the computer includes the motherboard with power supply attached to it along with the central processing unit that is pre-installed. All of this contained together. Everything else can be said to be a peripheral device. However, there are several other elements that are required for a computer to actually function. They being the hard drive or the RAM, that is the random access memory. The term peripheral device is used to refer any external device other than the computer core. These external devices are used to connect to the computer and increase its functionality. The best example for this is to explain is the use of a printer. Once it is connected to the computer, it can be used to print a number of documents. Now, different types of peripheral devices. The peripheral devices fall into three categories. They are first, input devices, second, output devices, third, storage devices. Some devices fall into more than one category, like a CD-ROM. It can be used to read the data present on it, which becomes an input, or it can be used to write data on it, which becomes an output device. It does not always mean that peripheral devices should be external only. They can be external as well as internal. Internal devices are also called as integrated peripherals. For a desktop, a monitor becomes an external peripheral device. It's easy to remove and replace it, whereas in a laptop, it's inbuilt and cannot be removed easily. Also, the term peripheral doesn't mean that the component is not essential for the functioning of the computer. Some devices do not hinder the functioning of the computer even after removal, like a printer, whereas removing a screen will almost make a computer useless. First, we'll discuss about the input devices. The most important task of a computer is to accept data. An input device is used to feed data and information to the computer. Advancement in input devices has resulted in different input devices. The most commonly used input devices are keyboard and mouse. First, keyboard. It is the most popular input device. This device allows the user to type in alphabets, numbers and operators, and also to move and control the cursor on the screen. A simple quadric keyboard looks like this. Second, mouse. A mouse is a simple pointing device. This device allows the user to point at any specific position on the screen. It consists of 2 or 3 buttons on the top. These buttons help in selecting or executing different operations. Pressing the buttons is referred as clicking the buttons. It is placed on a flat surface and moved along the plane to move the cursor or the pointing arrow. The left button is used to execute the operation, whereas the right click gives a set of different operations to choose from. These several operations change according to different situations. In the latest models, a wheel is present instead of the middle button that can be used to scroll down or up the content. Some of the other input devices are as follows. Joystick. It is a device that controls the movement of the cursor. It is used in games and simulation software. Next is light pen. This is used for drawing pictures and controlling screen operations. Next is microphone. This is used to feed audio input. Next is scanner. It is used to convert the printed documents or any other printed media into digital photographs. Next is touch screens. It is a touch-sensitive display device. allows the user to interact with the computer by simply touching the area of the screen. Next is barcode reader. It accepts the barcode as inputs. It is a series of black and white vertical bars printed on the packing of the product representing numbers and alphabets. Next is web camera. It is a low-resolution camera used to transfer live images on web-based conferencing. Next, digital camera. It is a high-resolution camera. It stores the images in a digital format. It can be connected to the computer using a USB cable. Now we'll discuss about output devices. This is a device used to display or deliver the processed data from the computer that was fed by the user to it. The most commonly used output devices are the monitor and the printer. The usage of these devices is given below. Monitor. It is an output device that displays information as it is the moment it is typed and also displays the output or the processed data. It is available in different forms like LCD, plasma display, touch panel, etc. Next is printer, an output device that produces a paper copy of the result like a document or an image. The different types of printers are dot matrix printer, Inkjet, Deskjet, laser printer, etc. Plotter. They are designed to produce outputs of illustrations, diagrams and other graphics. Now we'll discuss about printers. Printers, they can be categorized as first impact printers. These printers work on the mechanism that touches the paper to create an image or print data or information. The dot matrix printer is an example of impact printers. Second is non-impact printers. This type of printers do not touch the paper for printing. A laser or inkjet printer is an example of non-impact printer. First, dot matrix printer. These printers print images or characters using dots through inked ribbon. They require a very less maintenance cost. The pins present in the printers decide the print quality of the printer. But these printers make a lot of noise and hence are not so popular among the users. The quality of print in this is not very high. These printers can print through hammering pattern of dots on the printing ribbon, which allows to print multiple copies of paper that are separated by carbon copies inserted between multiple papers. Next is Inkjet, Deskjet printer. These are the most popular printers. They work on liquid ink technology and print the document using a circuit-controlled jet of ink. An inkjet sprays a jet of tiny droplets of ink to print the image or text. The printing speed as compared to laser printers is not that high. Third is laser printer. These printers use a combination of laser and Xerox technology. The ink is a dry powder based which is adhered to a drum through magnetic force, and when a paper is passed for printing through the drum, it releases ink on the paper. Laser printers are the fastest available printers and most suitable for high-speed quality prints. Now we shall discuss about the storage devices. Storage is very important in a computer system. As it is known, the primary memory in a computer, that is the RAM, random access memory, is volatile. That means whatever is stored in the RAM is lost as soon as the computer is turned off. So if there is a need to store the data, it can be achieved by storing the data in a storage device like a floppy disk, hard disk, CDs, DVDs, etc. before switching off the computer. First, the hard disk. It is a storage device that can store data up to terabytes. In normal cases, it is not removable. It is generally fitted inside the computer and is not visible. There can be one or more hard disk drive inside a computer. Before being known as the hard disks, they were called as fitted disks or Winchesters. They have a hard platter that holds the magnetic medium. At the simplest level, a hard disk uses magnetic recording techniques to store the data. The magnetic recording techniques allows the data to be easily erased and rewritten. Most drives have multiple platters just so as to increase the capacity of data that can be stored on it. Next is CD-ROM, that is compact disk read-only memory. It is a medium capacity storage device. Computer has special drive known as the CD drive, wherein a CD can be put and run. It can store data, audio or video. It's made up of plastic with a special surface having optical sensitivity. The CD drive has a laser light source that reads the data from the CD-ROM. Its surface has a mirror covered with billions of tiny bumps that are arranged in a long, tightly wound spiral track of data circling from the inside to the outside of the disk. The CD drive reads the bumps using the laser light and interprets the information as bits of data. Next is DVD, that is digital versatile disk. A DVD is similar to a CD but has a larger storage space as compared to a CD. This huge capacity allows to store a complete movie onto the DVD, which was not possible with the CD. A DVD can store audio, video or data. The special surface present on the DVD has optical sensitivity much denser than that of the CD. A DVD media can store data up to 4.7 GB in comparison to a 650 to 700 MB of CD-ROM. The dimensions of DVD are similar to that of CD. Even the material they are made up of is almost similar. Similar to CD, the data on a DVD is coded in the form of tiny bumps in the disks. Next storage device is pen drive. This is a type of flash memory storage device of the medium size of a thumb. They can be plugged into the USB ports present in the computer. They are compact, faster, and due to the lack of any moving components, they are reliable than any form of disk storage. The flash drives use a standard USB connector, which is connected to the computer using the USB port. Problems like scratch and dust issues do not occur here as compared to the compact disks. This allows the user to take it from one location to another. It allows the user to perform multiple read-write operations. Optical storage devices are slower than the flash-based devices. Now we'll discuss about certain PC ports and connectors. In a computer, there are various connectors and ports that help the user to connect the computer to the other storage devices. To understand the different ports and connectors, it is important to understand some basic terminology. First, a cable is a wire, socket is the female side of a computer, pin is the male side of the computer, and port is usually the place present with the socket used to physically connect some other devices. Now we'll discuss about PC ports. First is parallel ports. Parallel ports can be used to connect a lot of popular computer peripherals like printers, scanners, CD burners, external hard drives, network adapters, and tape-back drives. These ports were originally developed by IBM so as to facilitate connection between a printer and a PC. When a PC sends data to a printer that is connected through a parallel port, it is done by sending 8 bits of data at a time. These 8 bits are transmitted parallel to each other at the same time. A standard parallel port can send 50 to 100 KB of data per second. Earlier, these parallel ports were unidirectional. That means data can only be sent in one direction. IBM then came up with the PS2 port that allowed bidirectional parallel port design. This is commonly known as SPP, that is Standard Parallel Port, and has completely replaced the original parallel port design. Bidirectional communication allows the device to receive data as well as transmit it, thus increasing its functionality. Second is serial port. Serial ports are also called as communication ports. They are bidirectional and support sequential data transmission. The serial port serializes data and hence the name. This means that it takes 1 byte of the data and then it transmits 8 bits in a byte serially one after the other. This requires only one wire as 1 bit is sent after the other among the 8 bits, whereas a parallel port has 8 wires that transmit 8 bits all at the same time using all 8 wires. Hence, the serial port takes much longer time than a parallel port. A serial port is usually used to connect scanners, external modems or any other older computer mouse to the computer. It has two types, 9-pin and 25-pin. Next is USB port. USB stands for Universal Serial Bus. USB port. USB is a plug and play peripheral connection that was invented in the year 1997. It proved very useful during the times when all of the devices came with parallel or serial ports and the computer just had one. So only one device at a time can be connected, and thus USB solved this problem. USB can be used to connect various types of devices like the joystick, digital speakers, cameras, scanner, etc. A total of 127 devices can be connected to a computer using USB. The different devices that can be connected using USB are scanner, printer, mic, joystick, digital camera, webcam, speakers, and network connections. If a new device is connected, the operating system auto-detects the device and installs the drivers that are preloaded in the device. USB devices can be connected and disconnected at any time. A USB has the following characteristics. The computer acts as the host. Up to 127 devices can be connected either directly or using hubs. With USB 3, the maximum data transfer speed goes up to 60 MB per second. A USB cable has 2 wires for power and a twisted pair of wires for data transmission. USB devices are hot swappable. That means they can be plugged and unplugged at any time. Next is Firewire Port. Firewire Port was created by Apple and called it a high-performance serial bus. It is very similar to USB. Its features are fast transfer of data around 3.2 Gbps, facilitates connection of around 63 devices, can be plugged and unplugged at any time. Firewire allows the devices to draw power from the connections. It allows plug and play performance. It's easy to use. Next is PS2 port. It is also called as the mouse port developed by IBM. This port is used to connect a mouse or a keyboard. It is a 6-pin round connector. Nowadays, this port is replaced by USB as the keyboard and mouse are USB enabled. Earlier, they used to come in 2 different colors, a green one for keyboard and a purple one for the mouse. Next is monitor socket. This connector is used to connect a computer display monitor to the computer's video card. This is a blue color socket, also known as the display port with 15 pins. Next is audio speaker and microphone socket. These can be found at the back panel of the computer. These were 3 small sockets with different colors like blue, green and pink used to connect audio input devices, speakers or mic to the PC. Now the summary. A computer peripheral device can be defined as any device that is connected to the computer externally, which is not originally a part of the computer's core architecture. The term peripheral device is used to refer any external device other than the computer core. The peripheral devices fall into 3 categories. They are input devices, output devices and storage devices. It does not always mean that the peripheral devices should be external only. They can be external as well as internal. The most important task of a computer is to accept data. Some of the most used input devices are keyboard, mouse, joystick, microphone, etc. Output devices, they are the devices used to display or deliver the processed data from the computer that was fed by the user to it. Printers, they can be categorized as impact printers, non-impact printers. Storage devices are used to store data and information. Some of the storage devices are hard disk, CD-ROM, DVD and pen drive. The different PC ports and connectors are parallel ports, serial ports, USB ports, Firewire ports, PS2 ports, monitor socket and audio ports. Before I conclude this module, for your revision, we will revise what we studied in the last module. We studied what is a computer and its functions. A computer has 4 functions, that is input, processing, output and storage. Computer system is an equation which is equal to hardware plus software plus user. Hardware consists of all the physical parts of the computer. Software is anything not but a program which follows a set of instructions or commands. The major parts of the computer are input devices, processor, output devices, storage devices, peripheral devices, internal components and software. Computers are categorized on the basis of their operational and functional principle and also on the basis of their sizes. On the basis of their working principle, they are analog computers, digital computers and hybrid computers. Thank you.